Greetings, namaste. This is Shiva, your friendly neighborhood wellness philosopher and guide, co-creating wellness for all, with you, and for you. All right, today we're gonna get straight to the chase. We're gonna do what I call a 7-joint wake up, 7-joint reboot, or just a 7-joint go to bed. Okay, so you can do it when you rise in the morning. You can do it at any point in the day when you just need to sort of loosen up, get circulation back going, or you can do it before you hit the sack, just to sort of wind down. So I would suggest getting a place where you can maybe recline. I'm going to show you the reclining version of this. Know that you can do this in a seated position, most of this at least, or you can do it in a standing position and what have you. So for today's reclining demonstration, I'm just gonna maybe use a little folded blanket for my neck, and for some people who like a little lower back padding, I would suggest putting something on their lower back as they lie down, and let's go from there. All right, so 7 joints. Can anyone name the 7 joints? Think about it. I think you'll get the big ones, or maybe more than 7. But let's start by lying down. And now breath is important, but for this exercise, know that it's really bringing circulation to the joints in a very relaxed way. So don't be super conscious of your breath. Don't be super fixated on your breath even. This is not about that at this point. We might get to that later down the road, but then that becomes a completely different focus and routine almost. So this is really focus on the joints. What are my joints? Where are they at? Which ones are cracking or popping, or which ones seem dry versus lubricated, which ones seem stiff versus pliable and flexible, and what's the range of movement, right? So we'll start with the middle, kind of the big hip or pelvic joint. And as you can see, I have my knees pointing towards the ceiling. I kind of bring them in toward my chest. So I'm not like at a right angle. I'm sort of this is what I look like from the side. So you bring them in here. And now, if that's available to you, start doing little circles. Your hands can be on your knees just to guide those circles. And then do the other direction. You can do bigger circles as you open up more, and do an equal number on both sides. Again, in yoga, we always try to balance things out, so don't cheat one side and not do the same for the other, unless there's a good reason to do that. Like an injury or something, for example, or just limited mobility due to some other reason. All right, get your knees back down. Maybe just do some windshield vipers to loosen things up. Make sure your lower back is supported again. The more contact it has with the ground, the more support it has. Make sure it has that full contact. For some reason, if it doesn't, you can always slip a towel or, again, a blanket underneath. So for windshield vipers, drop your knees off to one side and then the other. One side, then the other. You can look up straight at the sky, kind of keep that neutral position. Or if you want to add a little bit of a twisting movement in, you can start looking to another direction that is opposite to where the knees are wiping toward. Knees go right, neck goes left, knees go left, neck goes right, that sort of thing. Don't mix it up too much. Just go with whatever's in the flow. Again, we're just sort of focused on the joints here. We're not doing a whole lot of neuromuscular coordination, right? All right, so that's kind of the hip joint. You can throw in an extra there if you're enjoying the hip movements, kind of make that figure 4, like so. And this is another alternative to the windshield vipers. The cool part about this is you can actually massage your hands while you do that. I really like that, tend to spend time working on my laptop and typing and things of that nature. So I like to give my hands a massage by just making fists underneath the fleshy part of my glutes here, and switching sides. Sometimes I even stick my forearms down there, get nice little compression going there, which feels good. So again, a little bonus thing there. Now, you want to open up your ankles. You can bring your feet up about here. So now, if you're opening your ankles up from here, I'd suggest pulling your knees in toward your chest, because that ensures your lower back is in contact with the floor. The further away you get, you'll start feeling somewhat of a lack of comfort, because you have this abdominal contraction going on as it supports this cantilevered part of your legs going out. So kind of keep the legs closed. We're opening up the ankles, or just keep them up, in which case, again, you have good weight bearing down and making sure your lower back is in contact with the floor or the mat. So now you just want to flex your feet away from yourself, toward yourself, away from yourself, toward yourself. So when you come toward yourself, that's when you inhale. Go away, you exhale. So the rule for inhales and exhales is kind of simple, but it takes a while to figure out what exactly is happening in the body, because we just don't tie in breath to movement that well or that often. And sometimes you get into bad habits, and other times it's just a new thing we're learning to do, which is what yoga does, right? Is coordinate breath with movement. Start waving the feet. Again, breath is not that important in this practice, but if you want to start exploring the principles in a relaxed sort of way, this is a good place to start. Now again, when your feet are going one way or the other, one side is contracting, the other side is lengthening. So basically, you're exhaling when you're in the wave, and you're inhaling when you're coming back from the wave and before starting the next one. So you exhale to the left, for example, inhale back to center, exhale to the right, inhale back to center. So you can kind of slow it down to kind of keep pace with your breath. Do some circles here too. I'm showing you this other, the bent-legged option that's available to you. And know that we're just opening up the joints here, and there's these different options and configurations you can take to open those up. Right? Okay. Where are we so far? Got the hips, got some knee action going, you got the ankles. Let's go for the neck. For the neck, similar to the feet, you want to start neutral and then exhale right, inhale center, exhale left, inhale center, exhale right, inhale center, exhale left, inhale center, and so on. We can do more neck stuff, but that gets us into a good place of opening it up so far. Let's go for shoulders and elbows. So come into somewhat of a, if you've done bench press, as a bench press position, but if you haven't, no worries. Just think you're doing, opening your arms to the sides. Don't go quite all the way, to horizontal. Just kind of stop at an angle there, which is maybe more removed from the body, and less further from the horizontal, but sort of that point where your shoulder feels relaxed and in contact. And again, you might want to put some padding there if that's what you need, or scoot your legs out farther or inward. Even sometimes that can get you to that comfortable alignment. And now you basically assume this sort of bench press position, as if you're gonna push something off your chest, or bench press is nothing but a push up in reverse. Think of it that way. And now you just get these joints moving. So now your elbows moving, your shoulders moving. So again, you inhale, chest expands, and when you exhale, you're kind of pushing up and chest contracts. Inhale, expansion. Exhale, contraction. Inhale, lengthening triceps, your arm. Exhale, contracting. Right? Now, last one is our wrists. We did hips, knees, ankles 3, neck 4, shoulder 5 and 6, elbow, and then last 7 is our wrist. Simply drop, bless, drop, bless. And again, here you can sort of drop it. When you do the drop, it's like you're dropping under gravity, so you're releasing. And this is preparing to push, so you're getting it back up. Again, blowing up a balloon. You're taking air in. Balloon deflating, going down. Again, do the circles, press circles, do the waves. Feel free to engage the shoulders, feel free to isolate. Eventually get all the joints working. There's no right or wrong way. As long as we get to all the joints in a mindful manner, that's what matters. Also recommend doing a body scan. Come to a reclining position. Keep your feet at the distance that feels good for you. Keep your palms facing up slightly towards yourself or facing down. Doesn't really matter. Move your shoulders to where it's comfortable. Hands on your belly is another good option. And just do a body scan. What do you notice? Maybe relax the breath. You feel you need some support in the lower back. You can either put padding underneath, or you can simply bring your knees up. That increases the contact area. You can even drop the knees toward each other. For some people, that's very relaxing. Again, it sort of depends on your anatomical proportions, both absolute and relative to each other. That will dictate, how far or how close things need to be, where you find that sthira sukham asana, which is the stability, the alertness, but also the joy and the pleasure and the relaxation and the comfort in that seat. And as you did the body scan, maybe you would have noticed certain areas of your body touching the floor, others raised and maybe tense. So that's where you want to focus on, relaxing everything and make the use of the right props to make sure that happens. Could even be feeling cold, if your feet are cold or something, cover them with a blanket when you're in that position. And now to come back up, one way to do it is make a pillow for arm, or like so, or just extend your right arm above your head and get your left arm to support you. And now use your right arm, your left arm, and your knee, your top leg to kind of come back up. And as long as nothing's gone to sleep per se, I think you should be in good shape to take on the world again, or retire, as the case may be. So hopefully this was a practice that just gets you in tune with the joints that support us all day long as we go about our various activities. And they don't always get the love and care they deserve. So just tune into just our joints, these places that allow us to be mobile, that help us get from place to place and move things from one place to another, and just offer some gratitude to the ability to do that. And by nourishing yourself with this practice, I hope that ability serves you well for years and years and decades to come. On that note, namaste. This is Shiva signing off with the 7 joint practice. Adios.